people feel that it's not an elitist club, because by the numbers that you've just spoken about, we should have gotten far and wider in the reach of who is investing in the stock exchange. And I think some of the shining of the NSE is that we don't quite understand it. Is there a breakage in terms of the way we disseminate the information?
I think that's a very good question, and that's something we struggle with, and it's not just started now. It's been there for many years. So for a long time, the NSE has been seen as an elitist club, really not resonating, being for the few. But we've really been trying to change that perception, and that's the very reason why we had to break up that club and create a company. I think one of the things that haven't been in this sector for many years, if you look at the profile of shareholders from the retail segments, those who come to the AGM, because that's the lipstick measure, do you know who they are? They're not you guys. These are our farmers, our moms, our dads, my AGM clients. They're not. You guys are not there. You're in the offices. So I think it's basically an interest issue. It's not that they don't get it, because these ladies come and ask questions of relevance. There's a gentleman called Chami. Have you heard of him? Chami? He has 100 shares in every company. And he's the most difficult person to. He sits there, you say, oh my God, what did I say? He goes and says, Chairman, page 32. And that's a page that was called staff remuneration. You know, they're smart. The problem with us middle income guys, we analyze the paralysis.
Yes.
You get it? I tell you Safaricom is a good bank, you say why? I don't see. And yet you can see traffic. You're using M-Pesa, you're blowing money on data. They're launching products day and night. And you still be now 60 billion net profits, and you're like, not a good buy. Huh? Sometimes it's really I think it's more of procrastination, I think so. Because you've got another perceived fear of even losing. You will not make money if you're not ready to lose it. In any investment, it's a risk. It's a risk. You can put your money in a bank. How many banks have shut down? I was pushing some banks to list. Today they would have been alive. Not. I was pushing them to list. They would have been alive. But sometimes, I think there's a problem in that the interest perspective and really the making that move, which I think is a big issue, especially among the youth. And I think we want to really encourage that. I do get your point about communication. A lot of communication and products are now going into resonating with the Kenyan language. Like you saw Emakiba, it's not M-Bond, Emakiba, so that it can be picked. And it was picked. We've got over 500,000 registration just to make it a bit more Kenyan and resonating with that.
And so, not to belabor this point, but we know the standout cases of where people have made money, but we also know of several companies where people have lost money. I'm thinking ARM, Uchumi, KQ is still there, but anybody who put money in there is, you know what they're thinking. Several of those. How do we don't have many companies listed as it is. It's not like South Africa or anybody like London, where you have enough to select from, that your portfolio is kind of cushioned. So when you see all these companies going down, what, as a prospective investor, should you think? Where do we stand right now, given what we've seen happen before?
I think I'll speak to really the challenge the market face, and not just peculiar to Kenya. I think in any business or in any industry, depending on the model that you take, you'll find companies that will do very well, and you'll find a company that will struggle and even fail. These are normal trends of business. The only issue here is that being a listed business, there's more stakeholder interest, there's more perception, there's more issues, and hence, when companies go into difficulties, it's so visible. So, I think that's really the reason why in any investment portfolio you do, you must diversify. Okay? You must diversify, you must understand how companies are trading, etc. Agree, we appreciate some of these have been surprises. And getting a company that was doing so well, all of a sudden collapsing, that's not where we want to be, and we're putting every effort to make sure companies don't fail, but we try and remedy them before they fail. But I think that doesn't mean the market is bad. I think it's really how then you balance out your risk. We're looking at ways of creating boards where we tell our companies about it's going to trouble, we separate them from the quality market. So that it's only investors who understand, who have got a higher risk appetite, who can go into those companies. So we're going to be dealing with that. But the trick and what we're hoping to transform is to make the market bigger. And that's why we're diversifying our products. That's why we want to bring in more listed companies. You know, last year we attracted a company from Rwanda, the Bank of Kigali. So we're not even focusing on Kenya alone. Very soon you'll see Nigerian banks here, you'll see big insurance. It's how deep can our market be, how exciting can it be? And so we are hoping to widen that base. But having said that, even today we have banks that have failed. Does that mean the banking sector is risky? Would you put your money under the mattress because your money disappeared in Imperial Bank? You go to another bank that you consider better quality, right? So I think those are incidences. I think them as events, not as a systemic problem in the market.
And while you're still on that, there's several companies listed, but let's be honest, as a fund manager or somebody trading on scale, how many counters really move the market? Yeah, I know, I went there. So if we are going to cushion ourselves, because for instance, it looks now, except for Safaricom, most of those counters are financial, and you want to diversify to different sectors. So somebody looking from outside, actually, because I get, through my forum, I get all these questions from people looking from outside. They're like, even if they're doing very well, if something were to happen in that particular sector, what does that leave an investor who is not looking to monitor on a day-to-day basis?
So that's the reason why we are bringing new products in the market. If I wanted to invest in, if I'm a good investor, then I'll make the selections myself, right? If I don't have the time for that, I would then go and buy a unit trust that has an exposure in our market, right? Because there's somebody watching that for us. I'm bringing you a contract that is tracking the NSE index. So I don't need to buy the stocks. I just buy the contract, and how the index behaves is how my value keeps changing. So I think we are cognizant that the market currently is concentration to a few counters. As we bring in other companies, that spread will improve, and you'll see better dilution and a better spread of companies. Do you know Qatar? You're part of the country? Do you know how many companies they have? 14. And that market, I think, is one of the biggest markets. It must be top 20. There are only 14 companies. So I don't think concentration is a bad thing. I don't think so. It's not a bad thing. It can only be a bad thing if the companies in that pool have failed, right? And that's when the risk presents itself, and that's systemic. That's not, I mean, today, one of the big boys failed, we really failed, right? But I think companies, and normally people would not concentrate around a weak company, they will concentrate around a strong company. So I don't think concentration is bad, but we must build and run with it. So for us, if volumes come in 5 companies, we're happy with that. Because the volatility is what people are taking advantage of, isn't it? The upside and the downside, taking the dips and the peaks. Okay? They're advantage. I could play Safaricom all my life. I mean, just buy today, sell tomorrow, buy today, sell tomorrow, or KCB or anything. Alright? So that's really it. There's really no risk in that kind of exposure. I don't see it.
Okay, my name is Mugari Kirumba. And I'd like to ask about the trainings, where they usually are, if you're supposed to pay, how often they are, because I feel they're quite important, especially for the public.
It's on our website, I think. And if you look at our website, we have it, but we'll now get more aggressive and more visible, and even be able to have a lot of these coming out through media, sharing therein, because we really want to run training, especially derivatives. Rufus and his team, this is one product that we want Kenyans to really appreciate. It's actually, in fact, I was talking about Shenzhen, the biggest trading platform there, okay, not Shenzhen, sorry, I think it's one on the market, South Korea, Seoul Exchange. Derivatives is crazy. I mean, guys wake up and take position in the morning, then they go to work. They lock positions, or they sell, or they close. It's that hot. So derivatives is one good area that you guys should be trained on, and he'll be able to share that with you. So please, we'll circulate that within your network, but I think also on our website we have the training programs there. And we have a very good aggressive calendar for the remaining of the year.
Good evening. Thank you very much for the conversation. My name is George Mohisha. I'm a former banker by profession. Right now I'm onto blockchain and cryptocurrencies. So my question actually is based on that particular topic. In the 90s, we saw that there was what we call the internet stocks. Companies like Amazon, eBay, Facebook, and so on. At that time, most people were so scared of those type of stocks, and they were calling them the FAD. Okay, so right now, of course, we're talking about Amazon being one of the richest companies global-wise in less than 20 years. Now, right now, we have a lot of good fintech and blockchain companies which are really solving problems across the globe in Africa, particularly in that particular. So, as NSE, how are you looking at that kind of a venue as a potential futuristic investment opportunity for most of these companies or individuals who are really ready to take the bull by its horn? Because right now these are really new companies and most of them are solving really good problems, but not everybody who are already ready for such kind of ventures. So you have to be a good risk taker to take an opportunity in such companies, and most of them are really doing good and some are yet to do very well. So how is the futuristic opportunity for NSE and for the investors according to them?
One more and then...
Blockchain and cryptos. That's an interesting space. Yes. We are really keen on that. I don't know, David, did I hear your voice? Maybe I set you off. So, as NSE, we've taken this new technology and we are working on one or two concepts in partnership with our partner exchanges. Some of our exchanges have actually moved ahead of us and come up with products, especially the international ones. So very soon, you'll see us advance one or two products on that platform. It's more like how do we create products around this new distributed ledger system, etc. That's what we're looking for. But going forward, in the next strategy, we'll have what we call thematic boards. Thematic boards. What does that mean? Unique boards for unique sectors. For instance, fintech. We'll develop criteria for listing fintech companies that's quite different from conventional companies. Because most of them, for instance, are startups, right? But that intellectual property is value. And with all these high hubs and what we have as Kenyans, those companies are coming up with apps that in a couple of months are being sold for millions and millions of shillings. Are they getting real value? We don't think so. So why don't you list first, create value, create visibility, and then trade off.
Change David here. But so my question is back to the companies that are doing so poorly, let's just say that. What's the delisting criteria? Because, like back in the day, I think a lot of those companies are doing worse than, now they're doing worse than they did back maybe 10 years ago. So what's the delisting criteria, and then what happens to the shareholders then in that case?
You know it's allowed, eh? You can delist voluntarily or involuntarily. You saw recently Camel delisted.
Yes.
Because there was a major buyout and they were able to raise the shares, etc. Very soon you'll see National Bank will be delisted. But are we losing value in for instance, National Bank? We're not, because it's a share swap. So National Bank shareholders become KCB shareholders. Okay? In the case of Camel, I think the investors were awarded a good premium on their share price. But you can't stop it. Because if the business has reached a certain level and the major investors feel that they want to exit it, you can't stop it. Okay? So we don't like losing them, but you must create an avenue for people to also. The only way your market will attract people is if they can also feel exit when they're ready, when they feel for other reasons. The involuntary one is where we see a risk to the market. And hence, if you're not complying with our obligations, if you're not doing all these kind of things, then you potentially become a candidate for an involuntary listing or mandatory listing, and hence there's a process towards that. But the companies that and the reason why we don't like that happening like immediately is to give the company a chance to survive, because you are the ultimate, you're the final, what do you call it? In the hierarchy of liquidation, you are the last to be sorted out. You get it as a shareholder. Because the shareholder, you're the owner of the business. So when you buy into that business, you're taking a risk of that business. You're the owner. So if the company collapses, you are the owner, really. So too bad. The company doesn't know you're the owner, you're getting dividends. But in order to just provide the market, keep a good perception and an appreciation of the market, when you see the company is facing challenges because of maybe bigger issues on markets or strategy or what, and you think they can recover, we're coming up with a mechanism of how we can keep the companies alive. And you might question me about the likes of Uchumi. But Uchumi, for instance, there's a lot happening behind the scenes. I mean, if they succeed in getting their capital structure together, the company could come back and attract and exit a good investor to pump in money. So they could be struggling, but don't forget, the government has an interest in it. That's more like a quiet cushion, right? Mumias is a big stakeholder in the sector. If you close Mumias, you affect the whole Western Kenyan economy. So it will keep trotting, and hopefully one day a solution. KQ is a national airline. Do you think they can shut down the national airline? I don't agree. When the likes of Uganda and Tanzania are starting their own airlines, it's how do they get a solution around it? So there's always a way that all this happens, but we keep vigilance. We are now holding companies to account, oversight. NSE is a regulator also, so we do oversight. CMA does oversight. Corporate governance is very strict now. Directors are being held to account. Non-exec directors are being held to account, because as a non-exec you're supposed to be watching, because you have no interest. You basically, when you're the shareholders' eye on the board. So a lot of focus on that. But cycles are there.
Actually, I'm glad that I came for this forum because it's authentic primary data collection for me. So, as I'm doing a research currently on the listed multinational companies in Kenya, and as I was listing them, I noticed we have only at least half of them are listed out of all the multinational companies operating in Kenya. So they're like 140 something, but only 40 something are multinationally listed. And so I just wanted to know, is the process of listing so bureaucratic that these companies shy away from listing, especially companies like Watsila, Abercrombie and Kent, they're listed elsewhere but they're operating in Kenya and not listed in NSE. So what's is it so bureaucratic, and maintaining that listing, is it too expensive, or is it as well corrupt, or I don't know, just curious to know. Yeah. And the second question is, do you guys have exchange programs for, let's say, outsiders or candidates or students can someone come and attend a mixing program? And the third question is, what are the chances that you will win a private message sent to you via LinkedIn?
I really want a copy of your research when you're done. I want you to test our assumptions or our hypothesis, because we've been looking for these companies. We have the list. We keep knocking their doors. There's still some of that inertia. However, we have got very good strategies to continuously engage with these companies. One of the things we're now saying, and one of the things the government has done, is to give incentives for listing. One of the exciting ones we're waiting for is a tax incentive for interest and penalties. And what's going on right now is a perfect storm. Perfect storm for us. Because I think when the bill is signed, we have an opportunity to tell them, if you list, you will have 2 years. If you have 2 years of interest and penalties, it can be waived if you list. I'm still quiet about it, but I want them to remember it's there. However, those incentives are there. We encourage foreign investors to list. We speak to them. We're looking for more of those companies. We believe it's a maturity of the market. That's why we need more domestic companies listing and becoming success stories. So that, let me tell you, a few years ago, which were the biggest banks in Kenya? Which are the biggest banks now?
Equity, KCB.
Precisely. So there's need for that shift from thinking that we need external solutions to solve our problems. We should bring our own companies into this market and make them attract foreign interest. I mean, if you look at the shareholding of some of these companies like equity today, it's a big foreign play. It's a foreign, So there's need for us to get homegrown companies to become big companies. That's the thing we should take and not say, they will respond because competition will compel. One of the things we've seen in our analysis is a very strong correlation between brand loyalty and ownership. If Safaricom was never listed, I don't think they would have grown tremendously where they are. Because I believe I'm investing in my company, I will use their product because at the end of the day I get a dividend. You get it? So that is what companies should learn, that there's more brand loyalty, there's more confidence, there's more trust in your product if you're listed and if I own part of you. And it's also good community, it's good social investment. Give out a bit to the people you benefit from. So, yes, I'd like to see that research, and we can test our hypotheses together. LinkedIn. Programs for candidates. we have programs for internships, but again, very limited. They're not a big exchange, so we can't take very many. But again, we take you through. We normally have those kind of programs, and we get attachments, etc. As I said, the training programs run every month. It's always good to be an alumni of the school. Then you get a better chance to work with us. Because if you excel, we remember you. So do 1 or 2 of our trainings, and you find yourself there and enjoy the program. Not even ourselves, but even within the community. LinkedIn. That's a personal challenge. I think I'm going to get a bit more savvy. Yes, I hear you. But by the time I'm done with this market, to check on, that's a different challenge.
My name is Ruben Burton. Jeff, I'm not an expert investor, but there was one thing which I was hoping to learn and understand this evening, and apologies if you've covered this, but I'm going to just make sure. I appreciate the markets are dynamic, and from your perspective, the market's going up and down, both present opportunities to people. But I read in recent times that the market volumes have been very small, and what I'm still not quite understanding is why is that? And as a sort of supplementary, I presume, well, how much is that a problem? Because if I invest in a market and there aren't buyers, there aren't transactions, then it's presumably hard for me to get out.
Now, I think this is not the worst I've seen of this market. In fact, I'm just recollecting my history. In 2001, when we had the transition to the first democratic election, the index went to 1,000 points. 1,000 points. I mean, share prices were way below 10 shillings, big companies. So, and after that, they recovered so fast to 4,500 within 5 months. The reason why the index is on a drag, and the reason is that the demand side is weak. Okay, the demand side is not a foreign weakness; it's a domestic weakness. Because what are we seeing today? The volumes that are traded, even if it's 100 million, 70% of that trade is still foreign. Are we together? Because the foreigners are still very active, and they're really active, meaning that they're seeing a potential upside. You know, the research, the investments are very highly researched, but the domestic institutions, the pension funds, insurance companies, etc., have refocused their investments to money market, the bonds, and that explains why our bond market is very busy. So money is in the equity market and not the bond market, and so that weakness, especially domestic weakness, has led to a drag on the pricing. So we find the volumes have been coming down, and not the volumes, but the prices have been coming down, and if that is more like price demand thing. The second point is that a lot of the emerging market funds, emerging and frontier markets, let me just bring for you the pool, the investment pools globally. So there are basically 3 key pools. There's the developed markets, okay? Then you have the emerging markets and the frontier markets. Now, developed markets, these are the European markets, the US, etc. Emerging markets are the Chinese, the BRIC companies, the BRIC countries, sorry. In Africa, we have South Africa and Egypt on that platform. And then the frontier markets is where we are. So when something is going on, say in the US, say interest rates are rising, all right? We find the international investors reallocate assets back to the developed markets. So they consider, depending on their risk metrics, if those markets pick up, if the alpha goes up, they're able to move those markets up to those sides, right? Again, if they see a risk of, like now what's happening in the US market, all these trade wars with China, etc., what do? They reallocate funds back to bonds. And that explains why you saw the bond yields dip, because there's heavy inflow. Are we together?
Yes.
So, and that money is then leaving, and when they take it, is then leaving the emerging and frontier markets back to those markets, and hence the international volumes into our markets come down. So that again affects the trading volume. Now, if you don't have, if the international markets are retreating, but then they're not selling, they're just not actively buying again. So we don't see a real capital flight. Because if they're selling, then we should be seeing same volumes selling out. But the volumes are still thin, 100 million, 200 million. It's because they're not selling, they're just holding. Only that they're not putting new money into the market. Yet then the domestic investors are also holding out. So that's what affects the market volume, and the index then comes down. Now the index is an indicator. It's basically like the NSE 20. It's a calculation of the 20 most active stocks on the market, price weighted, and depending on and also actively volume traded, and hence depending on how the market trends. If you see that it's coming down, that means general prices are coming down. Depending on the heavier weighted company, like Safaricom. If Safaricom comes down, then the market comes down faster because its weighting is higher than most of those companies. So that's what informs the index. But I'm saying there's never a bottom. I wish can anybody predict the bottom? Can you predict the bottom? Or can you predict the top? You can't. So the trick with markets, you buy as the price trends down, because you don't know where it's going to drop. Are we together? And also you sell as they go up, because you don't know where it's going to peak. That's the simple science of investing. Because nobody can tell the bottom. That's not a market there. Because I would wait and say it's coming on Tuesday. So I go on Tuesday, right? So that is really how it behaves. So that's, I really believe that will answer your question. So as they are going down now, this is the time to buy. And then average down, right? Your cost price. That's what helps.
My name is Bernard Brand. I work for the second regulated brokerage firm called Scoop Markets Kenya. Okay, so you took a mention about derivatives, and my question is can it possibly be margin traded? Possibly with $10,000, you can possibly margin trade it, let's say roughly 20% of it. My second question, what platform are you using? And my third question would be related to, is it instant on the execution? Okay, let me ask the fourth question, probably directed to you. Okay, we have seen a drop in foreign investors, especially in our bonds. So this has led to reduction in the market liquidity. So are there any programs that are running to help curb that or bring international investors or foreign investors back into the country? Because right now they represent probably 19%. Oh, thank you.
The questions around the derivatives, yeah, this is your opportunity now to speak to this. And thanks for having this audience. And, you know, we're looking for good talent like that. Great.
Hi everyone. I checked ready, so it's okay. Anyway, just to answer your questions, yes, it's you understand derivatives are a leverage product, right? So since you don't own the underlying, you are trading on a contract. So you won't pay the full amount of that notional exposure. So yes, it's margined. But now, to take it further, now for someone like Scope Markets, the exchange will publish a margin, and the minimum traded amount is one lot, one contract, right? But now as Scope, since you have underlying clients beneath you, then through your platform or whatever it is, then you can further break that contract into a few pieces. I don't say pieces, but a few, you can truncate it a bit. But however, the order that will be coming onto market will be one lot, collated for all Scope clients or for whichever number of Scope clients. So that's how we take margin from the exchange level and then now to further your needs. In terms of the platform, we do have a platform known as Avento. It's a front end provided by the exchange. It's web-based. However, we encourage all trading members, they can just come with their own platform, of course. We are cognizant, it has its own cost implications, so we've provided one for free. But as Scope, if you do have your own platform, we'd very much encourage you to use it. David might just confirm, I think the only requirement is if it can connect to our matching engine at the exchange. So I think between our IT team and your IT team, then that discussion can be furthered. In terms of instant execution, yes, the executions are instant, but of course there's a caveat subject to liquidity. So we are looking for liquidity providers. We've currently processed one, and I think we should be making that announcement shortly on market makers. So if we do have market makers, they're required to be on screen for a certain period of time, and then they'll be matching the buys and sells that come onto market. So at least make the market as vibrant as possible and just add liquidity. Yeah.
That's why I created along those questions. The question around liquidity, the assurance is the market is liquid. We don't have a situation where we've seen counters trade, even the most liquid counters, the time lag for trading is not very stretched. So what you're seeing right now, as I said earlier, is just an attrition of volume, not people leaving the market. Let me surprise you. Yesterday we did about 500 million. Last week we did about $1 billion. So it depends on the day. Investors look at this market in different days. Some prepare their funds on different days. So on an average basis, we are trading. So you can always get an exit position. You're not locked in. There are markets that don't trade in a week. We cannot keep a stock in a week. Even if it's an illiquid counter, you get an exit price. So that's really the benefit of it.
Yeah, I think we're going to stop there. But before we do, then I'll ask you the last question, or maybe the second last. What's your aspiration for the NSE? What, for the time that you've been there and when you wrap it up, what do you hope to have achieved? We've obviously seen quite a few developments. We have quite a bit more products than we did even as recently as when we launched the REIT. Yeah, we'll put you to task for that, but that's another day. And since then, there's a lot that has happened. Clearly, you have some goals, some achievements that you would want to see achieved by the time you call it a day. Between now and then, what do you hope for the NSE, and how encompassing is it to Kenyans as opposed to the club that we think now it is? How do we get your view, your vision out there, and what is that vision?
Thank you, Erin. So I think that was probably the first question I was asked when I joined the NSE, because I found it and individualized and on everything was running. And I said my legacy would be measured by the ability to make in this company a multi-asset trading platform. Where today, if I'm thinking investments, I'm thinking NSE. If you think of buying or making a call, I know you think about one or two companies. If you think of, it's in your face. Okay? So that is really the vision. How do we create a multi-asset trading platform or trading organization? And again, integrated. Now, by the time we did the NSE, and this is really keeping the promise, and probably will call me back here to speak about it, we will have a company that is trading on what we call cash products, bonds, equities, ETFs, REITs, all right? We'll have a platform that is trading full derivatives, possibly an NSE for spot market, an NSE that has got a derivatives market, and Rufus as CEO, and probably David, you're still young. An NSE that is trading commodities, okay? Because we are currently involved in setting up a commodities market. An NSE that has got a fully fledged financial school, okay? That's dealing with all issues, financials. An NSE that has got fully running depository, you know, so that our clearing house. So a full-fledged integrated market with over 1,000 employees running all over the place, a few billionaires running around and banging into them as they cross the corridor because of huge bonuses. I think that is the aspiration. And really being a big market in Africa, where it's not the size of the economy, but the depth of what the market has to offer. You know, where every investment bank, the JP Morgans, all these huge General, and everybody would say, I need presence. And it's a big aspiration of the country to become an international financial center. And that is the journey we are walking. So I believe in 2022. Mine is 2023, so I'm not going to be going for this. All these aspiring candidates will find their space within the organization, top hierarchy, and really make NSE a great company. And also being an NSE that is big on sustainability. And at this point, maybe allow Cecilia to say hi to you, just as we wind up, because this is our biggest agenda in terms of doing good to the world. Cecilia can say one or two things.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, you want to be clapped? Yeah. Okay, thank you. So I'll just say a few brief words. My name is Cecilia Morai, and I manage the development of the green bond market. And over the past 18 months, NSE, alongside KBA and a few other institutions, have really spearheaded the work to develop the green bonds market. In February this year, NSE, alongside CMA, Capital Markets Authority, launched the regulatory framework for green bonds. And that makes NSE one out of 3 exchanges on the continent with a regulatory framework for the green bond market. The other 2 are JSE, Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and Nigeria, the Nigerian Securities Exchange. And so I think it really shows how NSE is leading in terms of developing relevant and progressive products that help develop the capital markets and the economy in Kenya. So I'm saying in the future, all financing will be green, all bonds will be green, because as the CEO was saying, a green bond has the distinct advantage that it funds projects that have explicit environmental and social benefits. So it also means it's a better investment financially because it mitigates against risks associated with a changing climate. We can look at our weather patterns and how they impact the agricultural and agri-processing sector, how that will impact infrastructure development and so on. So yeah, it's just really to mitigate against those risks. So the future is green. If there's any other question, I can take them after.
And with that, Jeff, do you have a parting word?
Yeah. I think they said the future is next. All right? That's our slogan for the futures market. But if you want to make money, invest now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start with Emma Kiba, to be honest.
Really?
This is a great opportunity. Emma Kiba, *889 hash. So start the journey now. Don't overthink this thing, please. Don't overthink investing. Take a position. And just with that, I'm glad to see Deepak here as well. Deepak is our member of our Derivatives Risk Advisory Committee. So you can see we embody the best. And Seth Hilda as well. So it's great to have all of you. So thank you, Irene, and I look forward to coming back. Thank you.
With that, we can first get drinks at our price, and he'll hang around for a little bit so you can ask him questions directly. Thank you. See you next time.